Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name is David Turner. I'm here with Sean Bell,
Hello.
James Farley,
Hello.
and that's it. Matt Murray is not on the show this week because he is dealing with life issues. Life,
Oh,
oh
life.
life, oh
Oh, life. Does
life.
Matt see a ghost?
Oh, life.
It's what he fears the most.
Yeah.
Know that
Well,
much.
piece of toast.
He would rather have that fucking toast, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Watch
He
TV
would
news.
rather, and I know that because he stayed over mine on Saturday night, and at 1:30 in the morning said, "Can I have some toast?" So I do know that he would rather have a piece of toast.
We'll get
Let's
that on
get
the
to our
wiki later. That'll be on the wiki.
yeah, put that on the wiki.
Mhm.
Patreon producers this month, they are Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights to Human Rights, Dave Vernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Thomas, Tom S, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Jack Oven, Grey Dragon Claw, Colin the Carwanker Smith, Lee Keybottom, My Dog Skip, Dean, Evil Mammal, Boza Karma, Conky Donkers, Full Nails Conga, and Laser Quest. They are the Full Nails crew. Thank you so much for supporting us at the top tier level over at patreon.com/TCGS. We really do appreciate it. And it doesn't go unnoticed the amount of people on this list that have been subbed for a long time. So thank you everyone that supports us over there. We did our bonus stream last week, which was E3 Nintendo 2005.
It was 2005, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what a gem we uncovered that. We sort of had some idea of what they were announcing. We didn't know it was the first time that anyone had seen the Wii. Even though, motion controls weren't mentioned or anything like that. We also didn't expect, and this is absolutely true, I'm not just saying this to try and promote our Patreon content. We did not expect Miyamoto to flirt with one of the presenters
Shit.
and
That was so
and
weird.
leave with her from the stage to
Yep.
teach her some tricks backstage. Actual quote.
Yeah, and there was quite a lot of nudge, nudge, wink, wink with that as well. Like it was pretty obvious.
No, there was no
It's
nudge,
real-
wink, wink.
It was yeah.
It
It was
was
beyond that. It was proper,
very
like,
direct.
You could not
Yeah.
do this. Not like oh you couldn't do you could not do this.
No. I'm surprised you could do it back then. But if you would like to see that, patreon.com/TCGS. There are different tiers there. If you just want the bonus show, there's a tier for that. If you want the bonus show and video content, there is a tier for that. If you want to join the elite of the Full Nails crew, there's a tier for that. Patreon.com/TCGS. Keep this fucking thing advert free, please. One final thing to plug here. Ian Lee's Imposter Syndrome is coming to Manchester on April the 19th at the 53-2 Club. Come along. It's a brilliant show. Half an hour of Ian watching some 11 o'clock show clips and talking over them, and then half. Did I say half an hour? It's longer than that. There's an hour of that.
Yeah.
Half of the show is that. It's an hour of that. And then 45 minutes to an hour of me interviewing him on stage following a Q&A. Sean's going to be there. Matt's going to be there. So the best of the TCGS crew will be in attendance. Come and meet us and say hello. That's Ian Lee's Imposter Syndrome, April the 19th, 53-2 at Manchester. To get tickets, go to ianlee.com. Information is there. Please do come because it would be great to see you all there. We want as many TCGS listeners there as possible. And there are tickets available. Right, should we get some feedback from last week's show? It was quite a quiet pod, so I'm
Nothing
assuming there's not
really
too much to
major
talk
event.
about. Okay, all right.
Colin says, "All right, lads, just wanted to throw my 2 pence into the whole Xbox/Microsoft statement argument / very civilized debate between James and David." I don't really know what he's referencing there, but
No.
read on. I used to work in PR for a rather large SaaS company, software as a service. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, software as a
Super army soldiers.
Soldier. The brackets, one of the real evil ones, close brackets. And I'm sorry to oversimplify the whole thing, but I promise you that whole statement was crafted to ensure nobody can be held accountable at any point in the future. It's waffle at the highest level, and arguing over the meaning, face value, or otherwise is pointless. The conversation made for great listening, though, fellas. One final note: don't waste your breath defending or attacking companies like Xbox. Stay cool, gang. Love you lots.
I mean,
But the thing
that
is,
takes
we've got
away
to
a
make
big.
a podcast.
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it would
Yeah,
be
I
a bit
mean,
difficult, wouldn't it? It's,
that is all of our current material gone
Yeah.
if we don't do that. Also, Colin, sounds like you're on my side, so big thumbs up for that, Colin. Well done.
Push
okay,
button
I'm
Joe.
not going to push back on that. I'm just
Why
letting it all
not?
go. I'm just letting it all go.
Blatantly
It's,
on my side, blatantly
sure, yeah.
saying,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
pointless arguing over that
But-
stupid
but
little
didn't it
PR
basically
quote.
turn out you were both more or less on the same side? That was sort of.
We were absolutely on the same side,
Yeah.
but for some reason, we both had our backs up and wanted to go at it. And what I don't get is how our listeners don't go, do you know what, this is great, and they actually let us know that it's awful, and then they turn the show off. You don't deserve us, listeners. You do not fucking deserve us.
Push button
Yes.
Joe says, listen, lovely laddies. I sent in some feedback about Microsoft, but after listening to the discussion all the way through, I'm not actually sure what either of you were arguing about. So please disregard. I think everyone can agree that Microsoft is bad, Xbox is circling the toilet, and video games are back, baby.
I think you're probably right. there.
Kettle says, hey lads, great show as
yeah.
always. The Xbox debate was classic TCGS and why we love you. Just to clarify about the Virtual Boy, as James was making up shit.
great.
The colour is just going to be a
I
pack
like
for
him.
the app. No need to buy plastic filters. You can take the red out so that the other colours will work when using the different colours via the app. They included the red plastic just so that it's like the original. Thanks. Bye.
There you
See,
go.
that's yeah, okay. Until it happens, I'm still holding on to this being a possibility because it's just Nintendo. Like I'm still holding that it's possible they could do this because if that's the case, why bother putting in the filter in the first place?
Does
Like,
seem odd unless it's somehow
They
slightly
just
more
said the cut-
convincing or realistic.
So it's just to make it reflect the real thing,
Yeah.
right?
I don't think it would make much difference, but anyway, fine. We'll see.
I agree.
I still think that this is still a possibility.
I agree, but I'm going to argue about it with you for the next 30 minutes.
Okay, you don't understand, David.
Just so that the people that don't appreciate us can fucking turn off, listen to something else. James, is that the last thing on the argument? Oh no, there's more.
No, there's one more. PS1 Hagrid says, my favourite bit about the news is when David and James argue for 25 minutes about something they actually basically agree on. Same lads that give Matt a hard time for trying to pad the show out.
That's fair. All right, to wrap that up, I mean, we did feel embarrassed the next day and sort of text each other, just going, "What the fuck happened there? I don't even know what really happened." And I thought I was like really chill about it, and just thought, okay, well, look, it's happened now, it's fine. You know, it's a bit cringe or whatever. We were basically arguing the same point. But then I listened to an old episode of the pod, and I just remembered how vehemently James argued with me last week that you really do need to go into detail, even if it's just basically waffle and bullshit that these people are saying. You really do need to go into the detail to sort of pick out the bits. And then he says this on this show.
That's the main thing. That's the first people I look for.
Yeah.
I just look up and go, are you all right? Yeah, we are. We're still really, really rich. Okay, good. Phew.
Yeah, I'm not going to read what he said about it because
Close one.
it's all bullshit.
Oh, you could have done that last week. But decided not to, and then vehemently defended the reason for doing so.
No, I don't want to get into this again. I don't want to get into this again. Look, it's fine. Fine. It's completely fine.
Look,
No, it's
Sean
fine.
could go and have a break.
Okay, can you
I'll
continue reading the feedback, please, Sean? It's yeah.
We're too old for this shit now, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to do this stuff for hours on end in our 20s.
Yeah.
We're now, 40. One of us is over 40.
I'm not over 50.
Yes, you. Why?
I'm
Yeah,
not
you
over
are,
50.
aren't you?
You know I'm not. Piss off.
You are over 50, aren't you?
I'm 45.
No, you're not.
I am.
No, there's not 3 years between us, is there?
There is 3 years between us. It's
Don't talk bollocks.
There's 5 years.
Don't.
between
Okay, well, let's move on. I thought it was 10.
Gratuitous
outrageous.
Tech Rant says, did I imagine CDs coming out all those years ago and you went from a hissy tape deck with all the limitations of things like WoW and Flutter and Dolby noise reduction sounding like a song was recorded underwater to the game-changing clarity of digital recording where you noticed whole instrumentation lines you hadn't noticed before, never mind being able to skip tracks with the press of a button? All this in the 1980s, and here we are today, almost 50 years later. James will remember this. And people are actually buying tape cassettes for £150 of actual money in a cost of living crisis to play on their objectively inferior audio devices. Imagine having a current flagship smartphone in your pocket, but insisting on doing all your photography on a 1-megapixel Nokia camera phone from 2004. Is this what we're doing now? Do I have to throw my PS5 in the bin and go up to my loft and see if I can dig out my PS2 to see what gaming should really look like? Well, is it?
I mean, you're describing Sean Bell and his lifestyle.
Excuse me.
No, go on. No, go on.
When we talked, when I got a tape player, what did I say?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does just sound kind of bad. It's not like it's not like vinyl where it's like, oh, it actually does have quite a nice sound and stuff. Like, the tapes just are worse, but I just like them as little fucking.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Look, allow me to move my chess pieces.
Tapes is worth about 1 million Spotify plays.
allow me to move my chess pieces. What did you try and replace your smartphone with?
That was different.
No, go on. Answer the question. What did you try and replace your smartphone with?
That dog shit caterpillar phone.
the flip phone without any apps on it.
I was trying to have a digital detox, Dave. That was I would still
fair enough.
I would have preferred it to be a good phone. Like, it didn't work because I was like, no, I actually can't do most phone things on this.
That is fair enough. Please explain to the listeners what sort of TV you're sitting in front of at the moment.
Again, midlife crisis. I've been very open about
that. For those just joining us, Sean is sitting in front of a CRT TV, which he was playing Ark Raiders on the other day, believe it or not.
I just thought that'd be funny. I plugged to test it when I first got it. I plugged my Steam Deck into it. It's amusing.
I mean, I'm with you. It just looks beautiful. It just looks beautiful. But let's not try and defend ourselves, should we?
Moving on. I mean, to be fair, and the point about people spending 150 quid on a cassette tape. Yeah, of course, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, I could barely justify buying it at the normal RRP. Never mind vastly inflated collector prices. The Duke of Coventry has written in. Says, "Hi lads, I invented a new drinking game every time. Full stop. David said Microsoft instead of Xbox. Full stop. I either had a drink or took a drug. Suffice to say, I'm absolutely wanking to the point that where I genuinely believe I'm the Duke of Coventry. Cheers, mate. Cheers."
Yeah, I don't know why I kept doing that. It was really annoying me. I was like mid-flow and then just listen, and Microsoft and Xbox. Just I had something
doing
similar.
It with Sony and PlayStation as well. I forget when you're supposed to use one and the other.
Sony when you PlayStation. Yeah, I've been in many a situation. Do you remember when I went through a period of, instead of saying a single player game, I would call it a first player game for some reason.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't know why, but I remember like listening back into the pod and just going, it was one of those where you're just like you're in the shower eating your own fist, going, "You fucking idiot."
I don't remember that. So you were like, what was it like? You were like sort of saying stuff like, "Oh, it's a first player game." And
the multiplayer is really good, but the first player mode is just
yes,
I would say that
does sound familiar
all the time. Yeah. It was really fucking stupid. Anyway, self-hatred. Let's
moving on. That. A message from Flamflom, which is my favourite web browser. Thanks to the whole never neither pronunciation debate. Whenever Kena Bridge of Spirits gets brought up, my brain instinctively starts referring to it as Kena Kena. The show has broken me.
Right, okay, fair enough. But how often does Kena Bridge of Spirits get brought up?
That's true. That
must have happened once.
You're down at the pub with the lads. And
yeah.
You just can't stop talking about it. Cena has written in, "Can I just commend Newshound James Farley for such an impassioned defence of his dissection of the new Microsoft Gaming Head's opening salvo. He adeptly dodged the main one's prods and pokes, proving himself as the doctor who can take on propaganda, and we appreciate him for that. Bring on that next book, Dr. Farley. My purse is open wide. P.S. You didn't take offence with me splicing your F-bombs together in the best of Farley steps."
No, that was great.
Did we talk about it on the show last week? I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
Incredible work.
There was
Cena very kindly stitched together all the funniest bits, or just all the bits with James losing his mind during the Farley Steps stream.
There was some nice sort of like poignant moments as well. I thought it
No
was very
poignant
good.
moments. There was none of those.
There was.
It was just you shouting the F bomb and the C word, weren't you? Just one of those.
Away from the controller.
My favourite, and you did this last week during the arguments, when you lift your arms up like Donkey Kong,
Yeah.
and then you look like you're holding down B in Smash Brothers, down and B, and you're just about to let go, and then you sort of stop when you get to shoulder sort of level.
Yeah, because I realised it's going too far. It's like.
Just Shields has written in.
Oh yeah.
Gents, wee bit of feedback on last week's show. Towards the end of what we've been playing section, Dave mentioned WarioWare Inc., and I suddenly wondered what the game was and Googled it. Turns out he was shortening down Inc. or Incorporated, which isn't a big deal. I sympathise with this. I do it all the time. It did remind me of when I made a fool of myself asking for blast courts at a friend's house. No matter, I thought, until I went to bed that night and dreamt in a mad post-pneumonia sleep-deprived delirium of a WarioWare tattoo game with a Labo tattoo gun. Matt's huge beefy arm being the final boss. I haven't dreamed of yous before, so just know that when I woke, I was deeply unsettled. Cheers again, Jashield.
Shields, I don't think I'm shortening ink to ink. I think that's what it is.
This is what it is, yeah.
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 I don't think anyone sees ink and pronounces it incorporated.
Incorporated.
Ink, right?
No, everyone knows what it means, but you don't say. It's like saying, well, it's the Mario. Well, people do say Mario Brothers, don't they? But they don't say Bros.
Bros.
They
Yeah,
do
so
Mario
it's the-
Bros.
It's the Mario Bros. Yeah.
Mario Bros. But yeah, no, I don't think
I was
I've.
saying earlier that there's the game Invisible Ink, and that's the pun. It's a company called Invisible Incorporated, but you say Invisible Ink because it's like Invisible Ink, like the thing.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say WarioWare Incorporated. So just Shields, I think it is you that have embarrassed yourself again.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Right, this is quite a long one. Robert Lang says, "Dear David, Matt, Sean, and James, I was listening to last week's show and the chat about firing up old consoles on a CRT TV really hit home. In fact, I'm writing this as a formal word of warning to you all. My midlife crisis started simply enough. 2 weeks before lockdown, knowing that something was coming and fearing the thought of being stuck inside for an extended period of time, I preempted it all and picked up a PS4 on Gumtree. I hadn't gamed seriously in a decade, but suddenly I was back. What came next, however, was a compulsion. Fast forward to 2022, my 40th fast approaching. I was happily adding to my PS4 collection, and I decided to dig out all my old consoles to relive my younger days. To do it properly, though, I found a free 14-inch CRT on Gumtree.
Shit.
I started to realise there were a few gaps in my collection. I already had a PS1, PS2, N64, GameCube, Game Gear, Xbox 360. I knew my stuff. I already had a decent collection, but it needed to be expanded, displayed, completed. eBay was my friend. It showed me all the things I wanted and more importantly, what I didn't have. First came the NES, the Zapper, a Game Boy, a SNES, Atari 2600, Mega Drive, a Master System, a Wii U, a 2DS. I got to know my postman by name and we chatted about the amount of parcels arriving daily. I was the king of eBay, picking up bargains left, right, and centre. Next came the PS3 and the realisation that I could pick up loads of classic modern titles for almost nothing. Burnout Paradise, Uncharted, and Motorstorm for £2. Yes, please. The collection grew and grew. I realised I didn't have a Dreamcast or a Saturn, and wait, PC gaming, emulation. Oh,
No.
what wonders awaited me. My eBay checkout had never been so full, or my bank balance so empty. Where do I put all this stuff? Why, yes, let's convert the attic into a full-blown arcade. Easily done, but you don't have any actual arcade machines to complete the look. Okay, well, let's build one. Oh, and buy that arcade one-up machine off Facebook Marketplace. Before I knew it, I had LED and UV lights and an 80s-inspired rug. So here I am today, sitting in my home arcade with almost 600 physical games and about 35 different systems. So a word of warning to you all. It can all start with something simple like a 14-inch CRT TV. Keep up the great work, Robert. P.S. Please, for the love of God, don't mention FPGA again. My brain is already starting to itch, and I really cannot afford to go down the Mr. Rabbit hole.
Robert,
I mean, that's-
you live in the dream.
Yeah,
You
that
live
sounds
in the
amazing.
dream. Yeah.
This sounds decent. I would like a photograph of the attic, if that's not too weird.
That's pretty weird. Yeah, pretty weird. I would like some photographs of inside your home, please, listeners. If you could send them directly to me.
But Sean only wants it taken on like one of those like 1 megapixel cameras.
Yeah, if you
from,
take
like-
it on a film camera, and then I'll wait a week for it to be developed, and then probably won't come out.
Or just some Polaroids.
Is this where you got the? Is this where you got the idea for then, Sean? Did you see this and went, "I want a piece of that"? I'm going to go and get a 14-inch CRT.
So,
Oh, right.
No, I don't
okay.
think. I mean, I haven't got the room. Like, if I could stop working from home and not do the podcast anymore and have infinite money, I might like convert this space into, I don't know, like a little pinball arcade bit. But that's what it would take to make me do it, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking when Harry leaves, if we're still here, it's a dart room. That is a dartboard being set up, a full
dark room. Then I was like,
no, yeah, I'm gonna get into photography. Yeah, for all of my pretty little pictures. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Cool. Is that it for the feedback? Let's get to the news then, James. Quiet week, is it? Quiet week.
It's reasonably quiet. I mean, everyone will be relieved to know there is no Xbox news this week, or at least none that I wanted to add to the doc.
We'll still find an argument.
Yeah, probably. I mean, maybe with the first one. So the first story is, it's not something which has been confirmed, but I think apparently it's going to be a bit later by Jason Schreier, this is about Sony's shift in strategy, which is apparently going to lead to fewer PlayStation first-party games on PC. And this is coming from Nate the Hate, who has said that Sony is going to release fewer single-player games in particular, and that the stuff that's already in development, that will still happen. But then after that, that's probably going to be it. But then Jason Schreier has said that the live service stuff, that will still be multi-platform, whatever remains of that. But single-player stuff probably won't come to PC now. It's just going to...
I wonder what the thinking is there.
I mean,
no competition.
Yeah, I mean, the thinking is, you see, I don't fully understand this as... Can I... Right. What I don't understand...
Wait, sorry. Just let me say, my theory is they know what Microsoft's next console is going to be.
Yeah.
So releasing their games on Sony on PC does not make sense to them.
Yeah.
Let's keep it to ourselves
First,
sorry,
James.
James.
Time someone plays Ghost of Yote on the new Xbox.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that is definitely a factor of doing that. But the other thing that I'm always a bit confused about with this, with the discourse, as it were, around this, is that why is it?
I love it.
Why is
I love it. I love it when you talk about the discourse. Because what James means by the discourse is rollmuckforum.com. Because he's not got this...
Hi guys, thanks for listening.
He's not got this big network of people that he taps into to get sort of a feel of an industry. No, he goes to Rollmuck with a bunch of 40, 50-year-olds arguing about...
It's also reset era sometimes. I look on there and...
What makes me laugh,
on Reddit.
Whenever they're I know I'm always was sort of on the fringes, but I know I'm really on the fringes, because whenever there's games industry drama, I only see the sub tweets about it now.
Yeah. So tell us about the discourse with the man with his finger on the pulse / Rollmuck forum button.
So the 40 and 50-year-olds.
Look, and I know there'll be people listening to this on Rollmuck going, "Why are you taking the fucking? Why are you having a go at me?" Well, I'm not. We are in that bracket as well, is what I'm saying. It's quite insular, is what I'm trying. This is the joke.
It's
we start fucking having a pop at us
as being representative of the entire world.
It's
exactly Rollmuckers. Before you start going onto the fucking back page pod thread on there and going, that's why don't listen to him. Before you start getting involved with that, just hold on, because I'm saying I'm one of you. Yeah, do you want to have a go at one of you? I don't think you do you? Right, okay, let's get back to
It's a good forum.
It's a good forum.
Yeah,
visit that forum. Okay,
but no, the thing that I've never really understood about this is why people genuinely seem to be fine with Nintendo having exclusive games to sell their consoles.
It's funny, isn't it?
But you can't do that for PlayStation for some reason.
I don't think anyone's saying you can't, can you?
People seem to get you never hear really people saying or especially not anymore. Oh, they should, Mario should be multi-platform. It should be on everything. They're leaving money on the table. Why are they not releasing this on Xbox and PlayStation and stuff?
People say that shit. No one gives a shit how much money Sony and Nintendo are making. Really.
No.
I mean, to an extent, you want these companies to do well to the point where they reinvest that into games that we play and love, right? You get that side of it. Sony have been on a very strange path this gen, and I don't think they know where they're landing yet. They're still trying things out and getting a lot wrong.
I mean, I think
people are just ultimately disappointed because I think we would all agree that all games would be better if they were on all platforms and you didn't have to buy specific platforms to buy specific games, right? No,
I'm not.
Oh, you're a Nintendo fan?
No,
I
don't. I don't fully agree, and the reason I don't fully agree is that when I think back of, I mean, so now. Maybe now, this is more of a case because the systems are much more similar than they ever used to be. But one of the things that was really cool back in the day was that machines were, sort of games were built around the abilities of those machines, and you got real differences between those, and that was really interesting. Like how
you're talking about the Mega Drive SNES. That's what you're thinking.
Well,
no,
even like the N64 and like other machines that that they were built around those capabilities. I mean, that is obviously less of a thing now because the PS5,
they're all the same.
Xbox, they're all running pretty much the same, aren't they? I guess. So
apart from the new chat feature on Switch 2, which sets it apart from most things, that little camera and that. I think people say that stuff because they want access to games without buying loads of systems
hardware,
to be able to do that. Yeah, more hardware. So I totally get why people would be disappointed with this. But you're right. I mean,
there's probably part of us that still wants to believe that if you are fortunate enough to afford more than one console, you're going to get a different console, and you're going to be like, oh my god, this is like a complete mindset shift. It's like a totally different way. Whereas actually, the reality,
it's not really like that now, is it? It's like whereas it really was like even during the 32-bit era. Like if you there was big differences between like Saturn games and like PlayStation games. There really was, and it was interesting, to see how that panned out.
But I can see why they're doing this. I think they are worried about what Xbox are going to do next, and I think they know where their strength is to have good exclusives for their consoles. I think there's also the feeling, and this is total guesswork, right? But you do get the feeling from what each company is saying is that Xbox are thinking, right, we need to get a new console out now in the next year or so, whereas Sony seem to be pushing towards, no, we're going to prolong the PS5 generation. So trying to keep exclusives that way as well will be important because they'll want people to move on to the next console eventually, even though it's likely to be 2 or 3 years after whatever Xbox release. That is just guesswork based pretty much on just a few comments that have come out from each company, but it's an interesting one.
Because that's the thing, because like exclusives do sell consoles. Like that's why they exist. That's why that's why Nintendo's been really successful as well, is because they have those. And I think one of the other things that I think is different between like Xbox and PlayStation is that Sony really like making hardware. It seems like they really, they're a really sort of like hardware based business, and I think they want to keep selling those machines. Whereas
are there speakers out yet?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It's like they're always releasing, new stuff, to try and get into
Can you actually buy those? The Pulse Elevate launching in 2026. No, they are not out yet. That's a shame. That is a shame.
I do wonder if part of this decision is it's only sort of one example really, but when Spider-Man 2 came out on PC, apparently it was bad port, and they got a lot of flack for it. So maybe Sony. I don't know what the sales numbers are. Maybe they're looking at it like, well, fuck, only 10 of you bought it anyway. Who gives a shit? So who knows?
I'm amazed that you haven't played that yet.
It's on the bloody.
It's on PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation Plus, yeah. So I do need to sort that out.
It's very good. It's a really good game.
It's very good.
Yeah. So this. I mean, it looks like. I mean, I don't think they're just going to suddenly announce this, obviously, but I think it's going to be something which is probably just going to
be
happen.
A gradual realization, because it does mention, doesn't it, that apparently. Some ports are still quite far along and will probably see the light of day. It's not like a blanket, no, we're not doing this anymore. But,
I mean, they probably also don't want to give Steam money either, innit? Like,
there is that. Valve will be taking their cut of everything that sells on Steam, so.
Because the only way they could avoid that is by creating their own launcher, but as we've seen, that never seems to pan out well. No one wants that. I mean, how's Epic Games, like the Epic Games Store, doing, Sean, like on PC?
Wild how, like in terms of functionality, they just haven't changed anything. Like the software library on it is fine, and yeah, I'll log in and claim free stuff. It's obviously, it's become a family necessity to have Fortnite installed on my PC at all times now. So I'll use the app, and let's not, you can't discount how big Fortnite is. There will be millions of people who have the Epic Store installed just to play Fortnite. But I still see no reason to actually buy stuff on there, and it's still frustrating because I would like there to be a legitimate challenger to Steam, because we're very lucky. I mean, Steam is not perfect by any means. We're lucky that it's not a lot worse because they've essentially got a monopoly still. And I do think it would be healthy for someone to legitimately challenge that, but Epic is not the one, sadly.
Okay, next story is about Bloodborne and the Bloodborne remake that everyone's been clamoring for a very long time now. And so this is according to Bloomberg. Bluepoint did pitch a Bloodborne remake to Sony, who were interested because Sony owned the naming and all that kind of stuff to the game. But then apparently it was From Software
Too
turned
much
it down.
tonight. That's too much this week.
I'm holding back now.
Don't play into it.
But yeah, From
Embarrassing.
Software turned it down and didn't want to do it. And the speculation is that this is because Miyazaki doesn't want anyone else to touch the game. And this was something that Shuhei Yoshida said on a Kind of Funny podcast, where he said that basically Miyazaki wanted to have control over any remakes or anything that happened with the game. So
Cool.
yeah,
That's good for the consumer.
Yeah.
Great.
irritating though, isn't it? Because I like that because I started playing Bloodborne but didn't finish it. And
How far did you get?
I don't remember. I mean, I got past. Is it Father Gascoigne?
Oh yeah, that's that second boss.
Yeah, I got past that and a bit further in, but then I stopped because for some reason I can't remember what it was. I might go back
I
to
was
it one day.
fascinated with that because I'm not very good at these games, and I certainly hit a wall. I do all that thing where people say, "Oh no, once you get past this bit, it's not so bad after that." And that's the hump. I think it was Rom. Was it Rom the Vicious Spider or whatever on that one that was like a really hard one. Something like that, and I got past that one and sort of just lost all interest in that game, for some reason.
It's weird because I often moan about stuff being too hard these days, and I'm like, oh no, Bloodborne, I did everything. I think I did everything in Bloodborne. I did the secret final boss and got the proper ending and everything.
Did you?
Who was that? Who played that game?
Me, the fucking champion. You say that in the mirror every morning, don't you? Who did all the bosses in Bloodborne? You did, Sean. You could go out there and knock them dead, baby. But I remember because I reviewed it, so I think I got like 3 weeks before it come out or something like that. And I did what was it? The Father Gascoigne thing. He did the one that you got past. I fought him and it was a piece of piss. I think they did him like in the second go, and then when the game come out, everyone was like, "What the fuck? This is so hard."
Because I had the same thing. Because it only took me a couple of attempts. It wasn't that many, and I was expecting it was going to be really hard because I'd always heard this thing about how difficult it was. But yeah, that one was not a difficult one. It was weird.
Yeah, it's a piece of piss. But yeah, no, some people really struggle with that boss. I don't know. I thought Bloodborne was an excellent game. I certainly thought thematically it was way more interesting than most of the other From Software games. I would like to see it remade, but I would never play it again. I'm so done with those games, and that is not a reflection of the games themselves. Obviously,
No.
Elden Ring was even better than anything that had come before it, but I do get to those points. I'm so used to getting to a point with those games where I just run out of steam with them. Yeah.
Okay, next story is about Amazon Game Studios because they've ended their publishing agreement with Maverick Games. So Maverick Games was founded in 2023 and it was ex-Playground developers. And they were developing a game which was like a racing game with like story elements as well. And it was signed by Amazon in 2024 and it was going to be like an open world, as I said, narrative-driven racing game that was going to come out on PS5, Xbox, and PC. But Amazon have now ended the agreement, so it's not going to happen. So they said that they said the decision allows Maverick the flexibility to find a publisher partner whose strategic priorities are better aligned with bringing their game to the market. And Maverick
Now,
could
that,
then,
that sounds like bullshit, but
yeah,
apparently that is basically true. So
Bullshit
I've
from
not had a chance to
Amazon?
listen to it yet, but so Maverick Games have done a podcast about this, and apparently it is fascinating and very candid. Yeah, I've not had a chance to listen to it yet, but yeah, apparently it was an amicable split, and they are in talks with other publishers. So fingers crossed.
So very talented people over there at Maverick Games, and I'm not just saying that because I know they listen. But very talented and good-looking, cool, hip people over at Maverick Games. So definitely check that pod out.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, according to the co-founder, Harinder Sangha, he said they're continuing to progress with the game. It's still going, and so yeah, I guess it was just a case of finding a new publisher. So yeah. Next story. There's been more games media layoffs. So this time, this was Eurogamer who've cut their editorial staff, and VGC say that. I mean, they said that the site's most experienced editors and its entire 4-person video team have been chopped. And although one of the positions is going to be transferred to IGN, allegedly, and then also there's been cuts to outside Xbox as well, which is also it's also pretty big and
very well thought of and very popular. I do not understand these decisions at all, man. We should say this has come from IGN, obviously. So this is IGN sort of imposing these layoffs on Eurogamer, and we've talked about this so many times. It's that loss of institutional knowledge. That stuff's irreplaceable, and they keep doing it over and over again. And yeah, we should acknowledge. We know some of the people affected personally. Shout out if you're listening. Yeah, it's fucking horrible, man.
Yeah,
It's horrible.
Because when IGN took this over, according to VGC, they said that the entire VG 24/7 editorial team was moved on to Eurogamer, and then the staff who were left at VG 24/7 were not replaced, and so it's kind of still exists, but it's like a small guides operation according to VGC.
It's just so fucking unfair on those younger writers who want to do good work, but there is fewer and fewer people by the day to show them how to do it well.
Is there a market for it though? That's the problem.
Yeah.
And if there's enough people to read it, fine. But how are they making money out of that? And that is the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem.
That's what's so baffling again about the outside Xbox stuff as well. Like that channel's pretty huge as far as I'm aware. So yeah, to take people out of that as well just seems insane to me. But
yeah,
it feels like IGN are kind of consolidating. Really, they've got a kind of a stranglehold on this now, which is
they're just doing the thing of they're just basically just getting Eurogamer to a state where if it does eventually close, no one will miss it because it's just been a shadow of its former self for God knows how long. I don't know.
It's really sad because it's been around for so long now, and it's always been like a kind of a go-to place, for stuff, and yeah, it's a shame.
I mean, we should briefly. I know it's not in the news. We should briefly talk about the videogamer.com.
The wild. I was going to bring it up. I mean, what a wild story that is. So, Videogamer, for those of you that don't know, was a website that I think we were all on board with. It was, when the Ori brothers were running that place, and they had the likes of, Simon Miller and
Chris Pratt.
Steve Burns, Chris Pratt. They had such a great team over there, creating brilliant content, entertaining, personable, some really fucking good stuff over there. I loved that website, and even when it went through its phases after that, there were still moments of it's of course Matt Lee's Jim Trinket. Everyone's saying in the chat. Just a great crowd of people working on that website, and then to see where it is now really does show that no matter how much you can build up, it can be left in tatters. Do you want to explain what happened this week? Because it's fucking insane.
So basically, they put up. My understanding is they put up a review of the new Resident Evil, and it was fully 100% written by AI with a fake byline on it, and including does it have like a profile picture of someone?
There was a
you could see-
profile picture which
Yeah.
absolutely was also generated.
and, like in
I
the
mean,
file
it
name,
just
literally said, like-
hilariously generated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about that was that it's like because somebody just had a look at the the image source and it had like ChatGPT like
Yeah,
on the file name.
The file was called ChatGPT October 2025 on it, so you could even find it. But they also created fake social media for the guys, so they knew what they were doing. You know,
100%.
and I look. They've been banned from Metacritic
I was
and
gonna
all
say,
that
that's
sort of
the
stuff
one
now.
thing that was quite encouraging was Metacritic acted apparently like pretty much instantly because a few editors sort of wrote to them and explained what was going on, and they immediately the videogamer.com has been pulled from Metacritic, which is I think is probably still a pretty big deal in terms of driving traffic. It certainly was back in the day. And they sent out like a statement to all editors, basically saying if we catch any of you doing this, you're gone.
It's incredible though, really. Like, but especially going the extra mile to like create like an actual like fake person as well is it's incredible.
You've really got to think that little of your listeners that
Yeah.
you know, we'll get away with this. Like that must have been the decision they made. Well, we'll get away with this.
Yeah.
And you just think, fucking hell, you
It's
think
like no one will
that of
notice.
us.
You know, it's I mean, it's also you read the text. The text was like very obviously bad as well and wrong. You know, and like it's incredible. Really.
Bad and wrong. Yeah, we'd never get write that down as the episode title, please. Phil. I really do. We've seen so many shifts from gaming media since we've been podcasting, but through our time of being video games fan, you know, the amount of magazines. I know we touch on this every now and then, but I just cannot express what it felt like to stand in front of a rack of video game magazines and go, I don't even know which one to buy. There are so many of them. And then just think, well, I'll buy this one, and then next week I'll buy that one. And then just getting excited about flipping through that. So then, you know, the shift over to online and some of the stuff that One Up were doing and games for Windows and all that sort of stuff was, you know, brilliant. And I include Videogamer in that. And then you've just seen this shift now to YouTubers and Twitch streamers and social media completely filling that gap. And do I think that's a good thing? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, you know, whatever you think of Marathon, right? We'll talk about it later. There is no doubt that the way that is being looked at, that game is being looked at, is fed through the eyes of a filter on social media and a massive pylon. And there feels like there needs to be established video games media
there absolutely does, because there needs
to review that stuff from a stance of we're reviewing it critically and not emotionally, which a lot of people are. That's what's taken over.
But it's not just that. It's also like they need it's good when sites have like ethics policies and things like that as well, which are really important for dealing with these things. And unfortunately, the influencer economy doesn't have that at all. And it's
and that's not to say that all people doing that sort of content are bad. Like, just don't get us wrong. We're not.
It's not even. It's not inherently about the medium, is it? It's just, as you say, it's when you've just got people like us just sitting in front of a microphone and saying shit. Yeah, you know, there's certainly a perceived sort of honesty, or you know, we don't necessarily think about everything we're going to say, in case that wasn't obvious before we say it.
It's wrong and bad.
And wrong and bad. But that's not to say people doing podcasts or videos or whatever can't have the same, you know, rigorous or thoughtful approach to their criticism. It's just that they don't have to, and no one's going to make them do it if they don't want to. Whereas if you wanted to write for a magazine back in the day, you would have to fucking learn the craft. But then, you know, and obviously there are problems, because then, you know, certainly 90s Games Mags, you know, was a white man's club, and, you know, there were all sorts of problems with that. And whereas, you know, now, yes, like anyone can have a voice, and to an extent that's a good thing, but then also you do just get loads of shit.
Well, but for me, it's more the fact that, you know, good video games criticism, good video games writing is less important now than it was when in the magazine era and the early video game website era. And that is because, and this is a reflection of medium as a whole, like media as a whole, as you're consuming it. It's less more about what is a good written piece, what is a good piece of radio or television, what is good work, and more this fucking rage bait pointing, prodding people because that's what people react to. And that is how video games are being consumed from a media level, from a criticism level. It's who's shouting the loudest and saying the most, sort of polarizing thing. And that's not fucking good. Like, I don't even, like, we've spoken about it before. That guy with a fucking beard, I never forget never remember his name. But he popped up in my, what's the name? The American guy with a sort of long beard or whatever. He popped up in my my TikTok the other day, and I was like, "Fuck me, people like this. Like, it's fucking just droning dull bollocks." Like, I look at that, and I just go, "Fucking hell!" Yeah. People actually prefer that shit over to some well-written, thought-out long pieces on YouTube or whatever. Something that that Chris Pratt does, for example. And I just go, "Fucking hell!" If that's the case, that's the problem we've got now. This is the problem we got.
There are people still trying to do good stuff. There's Profound Waste of Time on magazine. Jank just launched. That's a new website, which is John Hicks and Brendan Caldwell and Graham Smith from Rock Paper Shotgun. People are doing good stuff, but but obviously knowing the way things are going, you look. So something like Jank launches, and you think like, but this isn't paying any full-time salaries, though, is it? Do you know what I mean?
No.
And
because how the fuck do you do that at this point?
Yeah, and those people do deserve a full-time salary for doing the sort of work they do, and I just don't know if that's going to happen.
Patreon.com/TCGS if you want to save video game media.
We'll do it. We'll do it. If we just need the money.
Yeah,
we will sort it out.
We've got a plan and everything.
We just need the money. Can we just put that on our Patreon? We just need the money.
If we get to a certain level, the plan will be revealed. And
I love the fact that we'd even let you know what the plan was, James.
What do you mean? I am the plan.
Can I just say with complete immunity about something today? Like when Matt said he couldn't make the show and that, and you just went, "Hey, it's fine. Don't worry about it." I was like, "James, come on, sit back, mate. Let the bosses deal with Matt in this situation. You just go sit and play in the corner, and we'll tell you how it goes." I know it's not fair. It's sort of the truth, though. Should we get to the last?
King hell. Bother.
You don't half the time. Right,
that's not true.
Oh, okay. Sorry, no, you're right. Let's get some news.
So, final story is a nice story, probably, which is that Red Octane have returned with Red Octane Games, and they're going to be doing a Guitar Hero style game, which is called Stage Tour. And this is intended to be a long-term platform created in conjunction with the community that will continue to evolve following its release. It's going to have instruments. There's going to be controller and keyboard compatibility as well, if you don't have the instruments. And they've got a multi-year partnership with Gibson, Epiphone, and Kramer brands as well that are going to be integrated into the game. Do you want to hear what they've got to say about it? Do you want to hear the quote?
Yeah,
absolutely. You know me, I love quotes.
Okay, Stage Tour is our love letter to rhythm gaming. We want Stage Tour to feel familiar and authentic, but also fresh, utilising modern technology to connect gamers with the music they love and enjoying a platform that evolves and grows over time. With new instruments and deep charting systems, we're raising the bar on what we believe a rhythm game can be, while also catering to those wishing to simply enjoy a casual experience and have a good time. And there's going to be a closed alpha this summer.
How the fuck do you do closed alpha for this?
No idea.
Yeah, so we're going to send you some cardboard, sort of make a guitar and pretend to play along. No, presumably they work with existing guitars.
Yeah.
Look, there's too many questions for us to really comment on this.
I know the soundtrack
what's
is
the music library going to be?
There's no mention of the songs that are going to be on it.
What
trailer,
if you've spent...
people are moaning that the trailer doesn't look very good. I would argue it doesn't really matter.
Really doesn't. No.
I mean,
really
it looks
does
very
not
like
matter.
Rock Band or Guitar Hero, doesn't it? Like,
well,
in terms of...
that was
Yeah.
my only criticism is that like it's comes up like a quote on the screen. It's like, oh, the next evolution in rhythm gaming, and it's like this is exactly what you were doing 20 years ago. Come on, like
Which is fine.
Yeah,
Which
no, that's
is
what I mean.
fine.
Yeah, you don't have to call it an evolution of anything. It's fine to just be like, remember how much fun you had doing this ages ago, and you haven't done it since. Here you go.
Why don't you do it now? There's two things it needs to get right. It needs to get how it handles people's music libraries. I mean, people have spent a lot of money on the Rock Band thing.
It's not going to use any of that, is it?
No, but you've got to try and convince them to drop that and move over to this. That's huge. Secondly, pricing. If you're bringing out a £120 Guitar Hero game with a guitar in 2026, I think there's not many good people. It will find an audience, like without a doubt. There are still people regularly streaming Guitar Hero stuff. It's still a thing.
Probably
but
like a younger audience, because like we always say, like, but do people want the plastic shit in their house? Like, well, we don't, because we're 40 to 50 years old. But people half our age probably still. I have absolutely no problem with that, because
we've still got a lot of plastic shit in our house, though. Surely
you speak for yourself. I'd love
different
to have
shapes.
Nice,
Yeah, no one wants this plastic shit anymore because we're in our 40s and 50s. James is sticking his face into a virtual boy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I know what you mean though. It's I know that if I gave Charlie Guitar Hero, I'd fucking love it. It's just whether you go down that route again. I'd fucking love to play Guitar Hero again.
Yeah,
I love a bit of Guitar Hero.
As I've said before, like occasionally I look up and seeing if I can buy like another guitar or whatever. I saw one. I mean, there was one on Amazon I saw the other day. It was like £100 for like, but it's a bit too much,
No, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much, baby.
It always annoys me, when you see it at arcades, and it's always like the Guitar Hero arcade is based on, is it Guitar Hero 3? I think.
Yes.
For my money, it doesn't have the great set
Legends
list
of Rock?
You'll
No, that's great. No, Guitar Hero 3 was good.
Wasn't as good as 2. 2 had the best.
I just do Bulls on Parade and then Reptilia, and then that's me.
That's one of the best ones to play, though, isn't it? I thought they were all good. Shut up. Except for the first one where they couldn't actually buy the rights to the actual songs.
Yeah.
So they redone them, and some of them sounded very bad. Okay.
So when I played Guitar Hero 2, I always used to amuse myself by using the whammy bar on it, because if you just held it against the body of the guitar, it would then, so any notes that you could bend, it would just go in, and the note would just be out of tune, right? It would just sound really funny. So you just play entire sections, and it would just sound hilarious. And then Guitar Hero 3, they fixed it, so they didn't do that anymore.
Right.
And I was like, why would they ruin that? And then I realized probably what they were trying to fix was instances where that whammy bar is like a bit knackered and it's not quite centering itself. So it's taking whatever the initial value is as 0 for every note. I was like, that's actually really clever, but it spoiled my funny joke. So don't.
They didn't think of that, did they?
No, they didn't.
Should we have a look at? The track list?
I'm just having a look. There's quite a lot of second-hand guitars on German Vinted that are reasonably priced.
Okay. We could probably say out in the open now that you're moving back to the UK, aren't we?
Yeah.
Moving back to the Kent area.
Yeah.
I just say, Jen, just before we move, I'm going to buy loads of Guitar Hero stuff so we've got to move all that with us now.
We've got
Okay.
all our stuff in storage. I was thinking of getting more stuff to put in storage.
Okay, so you reckon 2's better than 1? Let's see what the track lists are like.
2 is definitely
I feel like 2 was
best.
was for me.
Thin Lizzy, Bad Reputation, Alice Cooper, Rolling Stones, Kansas, Carry On, Wayward Son. That was good to play actually.
Yeah, that was great.
Cherry Pie, I don't know.
Cherry Pie.
Oh, it had heart-shaped box on it. Nirvana, we'll
yeah.
take that. Deep Purple, Hush. Had Primus, bit of Primus. It's got time for a bit of Primus. Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name. Although they didn't say the F word, did they?
No,
Monkey Wrench. God, there were loads of songs on number 2, wasn't there? That's crazy. What is that?
Yes, stuff around. And you remember which game was it where you could play any song but with like some of the famous musicians as So basically, there was all this. So Courtney Love ended up
It
like
was
having a
Oh,
go because there was
that's
this footage of
right.
like Kurt Cobain
It was
coming out and
Kurt
being
Cobain was a
playing
character.
yes.
Yeah,
Kurt Cobain was a character, and you could choose them, Kurt
Yeah, so he would come
Cobain,
out
to
on
play
stage
other.
going, yeah, boy.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was quite
So-
funny. I'm sorry.
So actually, barely any of the songs in 2 were original master recordings. Only a few of them were. My Chemical Romance, Primus, and
'Cause
Toadies, and Jane's
I
Addiction.
assume it's as much about because you need not only do you need the rights to the song, but you also need it multi-tracked, right? So you
Yeah,
can
exactly.
be able
Which
to
is
put out
easier
the-
to do now because you can literally just
Because they've
spit
got
up.
computers.
See, Free had Sex Pistols, Queens of the Stone Age, Slipknot, Rage Against the Machine, Smashing Pumpkins. I think Free
What
might
was
have been
the- what was
better.
the Pumpkin
Pearl
song?
Jam. Pumpkin Songs, Cherub Rock.
Mm.
It's a good song. It's a
I
good
know, but
song.
it's not the one you'd pick, is it?
It's not like
No.
Jelly Belly or
Block
something like
Party, Muse, ZZ Top. Come
Alright,
on,
no, there's
Tenacious
some good-
D.
there's
Yeah,
some good
Free was
stuff
better.
in Fine.
Yeah, Free was
That
better.
wasn't bad.
Free
It
was
was
better.
better than
I think it was
I
better.
remembered. Disagree on that.
Okay. All right. That's Guitar Hero, and that's the padding out that we needed to do to get us. Oh, not quite over an hour, but it's going to be a short show. Going to be a short show this
Oh, no,
week.
we've got to do marathon in a minute.
Should we get to what you've been playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Let's talk about Marathon then, which isn't actually out yet. It's important to say, but we have been playing the Server Slam, which is the open beta or open. I don't know if it's
It's a
even
network
beta.
stress test, but someone decided
It's a
that
stress
didn't sound cool enough. So
Yeah.
now it's a Silver Slam.
So, right, Marathon is the next game from Bungie, now under the umbrella of Sony, creating an extraction shooter to try and hold our interest for enough amount of time to fucking extract as much money from our wallets, eh? That's what they call it, an extraction shooter, isn't it, eh? So, Sean,
Right.
you've been very vocal on this to me. Do you want to go
I
into
think
your
I'm,
thoughts?
I'm going to be more level-headed than perhaps you expect.
When is this?
I hope-
Oh, yeah. Oh,
No,
you
right, 'cause I
you
think what's going
bottling
on
it.
here is it 50%. It's just not for me, and that is fine. That is genuinely fine.
Yeah.
I do think there are quite a few legitimate issues with it. Obviously, I can't help but go into this through the lens of like, oh, how does it compare to Ark Raiders? Which I think is valid because I think that's what most people are going to be doing.
Well,
think
this is it,
I think
yeah.
anyone who's just a Bungie fan and is coming from like Destiny to this is in for a real shock.
Oh God, yeah, huge shock, yeah. Well, that's what right. Okay, so firstly, let's address that. We did talk about Ark Raiders going into this, and I think mainly because we're console players, right? We primarily play console games. I know Sean plays a lot of PC games, but not necessarily things like Extraction. He's not a Tarkov guy.
No.
But like extraction shooters are a kind of a new thing to console gamers, and I know they've been around in many iterations on the PC before. But Ark Raiders has been like this huge introduction to a lot of people to what an extraction shooter is. I think Helldivers helped sort of ease us in, and then Ark Raiders ramped it up a bit. Obviously, nowhere near as hardcore as some of the PC games that have come out. So I think it's inevitable that people are going, well, Ark Raiders is this big thing at the moment. It's really blown up. Doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. Content's constantly coming, and more people are playing. So to compare it to that is natural. I think we were saying, do we think Ark Raiders is going to help Marathon or hinder it? And I think when we asked that question at the time, we were thinking, no, is it going to help in that it is introducing the concept of extraction shooters to a lot of new players, or is it going to hurt it because people like that so much and they're so embedded in Ark Raiders that they're not going to be interested in Marathon? I think it hinders it, but not in the way that I thought.
Yes.
Because I think it hinders it in that this is not Ark Raiders, and it is not trying to be Ark Raiders, and anyone going into this expecting an Ark Raiders game is going to be baffled because you do not play this. Ark Raiders is a PvP or PvE game that crosses. It's not either or. It can happen at the same time. There's all sorts of drama around
Yeah, there's a sort of ongoing
whether.
tension. When you see someone, it's a question of, are they nice
Yeah.
or are they going to shoot me?
Yeah, there's a standoff.
In this, it's not a question.
There's no
Because-
question.
No, it's
whatsoever
not, and
in
it
this.
doesn't want that question. The
Yeah,
game
no,
clearly
100%,
doesn't want that
yeah.
question. And what exposed that to me and really sort of drummed home that point was it's got proximity chat, right? But John got into a battle with someone, knocked them down, and the guy started, "Oh, well done, man." He went, "Oh, look, I'll get you back up." And then they both realised there's no way to get the other person back up, and you go, "Oh,
Right, yeah,
okay."
yeah,
This game's not even going for that. It's
Yeah.
you
And it does,
come across
like-
another team, you take them out.
Yeah.
That's
and
it.
It does make it like it's explicit in the narrative, isn't it? I was saying this when James and I streamed it. Like, Arc Raiders, yes, mechanically, does reward you for taking down other players in some ways, but like, not that there's much of a story, but thematically, it's
concept-wise, yeah.
humanity's all in it together, and we're supposed to be fighting the robots. Whereas this is
All
like,
for the same town underground,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
supposed to be working together.
whereas this very explicitly, like, the AI voice in your head in like a very early mission says, like, yeah, probably don't try and be friends with anyone. I forget exactly how it phrases it, but yeah, it tells you probably need to shoot everyone on sight. It's like and again, it's thematically, that's what the game's doing. Is you're all mercenaries, and in worlds there would be not necessarily any reason for you to work together. You are all in it for yourselves. So it's quite explicit about that, and I think that is fine. It's not for me, but it's fine. It's, some people
Sure.
are, we should say that, people in the Discord, some people are really enjoying this, and a lot of people saying, well, actually, this for me, this sits alongside Arc Raiders quite nicely because they're two very different experiences.
And that's one of the things I think is going to happen, because this could find an audience. I think, like, definitely, it will find its own audience, which is not like the Arc Raiders one, because this feels totally like PvP focused. I mean,
but I think what I'm really struggling with, among other things, and we'll get onto them, but the main thing for me is that it feels like it is tuned like Destiny Deathmatch.
yeah, it feels like you're playing Quake 3 Arena.
Yeah,
like what we were playing.
instead of
Whoa,
dying and coming
what?
back within
No, I
3
don't agree
seconds,
with that.
you're dead, and then you're going back to the menu, and then you're like, right, I've got to sort out my loadout again. I've got to do all that shit, and then I've got to go back.
Oh. I see, because when you say that, I associate what the feeling I get from PvP in Destiny or Quake 3 Arena is the speed and intensity of what you're doing. This game is fucking slow. I think
but you die really quickly.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
you
It can
die
be,
really quickly, right?
Because that was our experience. Like, I know we were not playing it properly, or the way that you're supposed to play it, but we got into a level, just getting our bearings, dead. It's like that's what I mean about it feeling like Quake. Like, it just felt like as soon as you get into combat, it's over very quickly.
Yeah,
like it's
which I think, again, I think it's fine if you're getting back in the action pretty quickly, but
which you're not.
At all.
Yeah.
So we'll come on to that. What you mean about not playing it in the right way, and because it was certainly an experience that I had that was quite interesting over the weekend. But I think what I'm trying to say is, as much as this isn't Arc Raiders when you go into it, also don't expect Destiny, because Destiny is a free flowing, jumping about, real sort of snappy. This is slow. It takes a while to get anywhere. It's slower than Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is a faster game. You can get from point A to point B a lot quicker. Could cover much more ground. It's not a case of quick jump up like on a Halo game where you could jump onto a ladder and climb up from there. You have to stand at the bottom of the ladder, hold down X for a short while, and then climb up the ladder. Like, it's bizarre to me, actually.
The entire time you're thinking, I could get fucking shot any second now. I need to make sure I am free to climb this ladder.
I genuinely thought what I was going to be playing here was an extraction shooter that felt like Destiny. That is not what this game is at all, and not what it's intending to be. But I will say this. So I played the first night, I fucking hated it. I played the next day, I fucking hated it. And then I sat down with John, who was getting some enjoyment out of it. And he said, no, play it slower, crouch. People can hear your footsteps. There's loads of things that give you away to enemies nearby. play it like you're slowly moving into like get into an heated area, hold your ground, all that sort of stuff. Good communications. Have a look around. We took 3 or 4 teams out in that session, and it felt like fucking great. Like it felt really good. There was a great moment where we'd crept up on this team that were in this thing. We actually tracked them because we saw them leaving a thing, and then we followed them, tracked them down. And it's all built to do that stuff. If you shoot someone and they're down, they leave a trail of like blood, and you can follow that to find where they are and use it. And it was really funny because, you know, we were having this battle with this team, and 2 of them tried to flank us around the other way and not realize there was a fucking turret on the side of the building. Took them all out like without us even having to fucking do anything. And I was like, okay, this is fun. However, I do come away from it, and as much as I'm saying don't compare this to Art Raiders because it's trying to do something different, I do come away from this weekend going, "What? I'm not going to play this over Art Raiders. I have way more fun playing that game." Yes, it's a different type of game, but it doesn't mean, hey, I'm going to play this as much because it's a different type of game. Like, I do think ultimately it's fucking dull, and I don't understand why it doesn't have that great movement and feel of Bungie games, and they've gone for this slower pace. Yes, it's doing something different. Doesn't mean I'm finding it more enjoyable to play it like that. And again, we're comparing a game that's been out for 6-7 months, really built up what it is, really refined and modded, you know, updated and added content and all that sort of stuff, with a game that is still pre-release. Yeah, and it's important to say that.
You know, like I quite like. I think I like the way it looks. I don't. Like
I fucking hate the way it looks. I hate it.
But I think the interface is really bad. But you know, the interfaces in Art Raiders is not great either. I'm just very used to it.
No.
So
yes.
I'm not gonna.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, they've fucked up the interface. They probably have.
Totally.
Probably just takes game.
Yeah.
The thing that's interesting with the visuals is like all the buildings and all that kind of stuff. That all looks really great, but the actual like natural environment looks not great at all.
It's pretty bland.
Yeah.
In comparison, but then some people hate the way the buildings look, and I can see why they would.
But
it's quite like it doesn't make any sense. Like all the coloring and stuff. I'm all right with that, but I can see why you're looking and be like, yeah, but why is that building fucking neon green and then this one's pink and then this one's blue? It doesn't make any sense. But
it does make that really cool sound when you go through the you know, when there's like
plastic
those the plastic like things like that, and it sounds brilliant every time you do that. Like that.
Visually, my main problem with it is that when you're going through a building and you're looking for stuff to scavenge, it's not. I mean, and maybe this improves over time. It's really not easy to discern what is interactable and what isn't. I feel like I was just looking and like, well, there's a bunch of fucking boxes everywhere. I don't know which ones I can open.
Yeah, so John said to me that he has got used to that and he can spot what boxes and then how could that? I couldn't. I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then when you get into the boxes,
on the hood to be like, but here's a load of boxes. I don't know.
And then when you get into the boxes as well, I'm kind of like, I don't know what that red square with a diamond is. What the fuck is that?
I wish that also that like because you know like if you pick things off the ground, you press like on PlayStation you press square to do that. But then when you pick something up that's in a box, you have to press X to do it. It's a bit confusing because because everything's happening like pretty quickly. I was like going into boxes and then just hammering like square to like pick them up and then
just dropping
wondering
everything.
why it's all just dropping on the floor. And you're just
you're just butterfingers. You're just butterfingers.
I will say like if you're into what this is and you don't mind the way it plays and stuff and you're enjoying that. I do think like what they've done with it structurally is really cool because I mean, I've never played a marathon game before. Obviously, the last ones were literally 20, 30 years ago or whatever. But basically, the setting is this big colony ship went off to this planet, and then we lost contact with it, and now we've got contact back, and everything's gone to shit. Like the whole colony is just basically been destroyed, and you're essentially a mercenary, and you've gone over there, and you're transferring your consciousness into what they call shells, which basically means there's a bit of a hero shooter vibe. So there's different shells to choose from, and they've all got different abilities and characteristics and stuff. That's really cool. That's 100%. That's something you're not going to get in Ark Raiders, right? And then on top of that, you've also got there's like all the different corporations that are sort of vying for control over this colony, and they sort of give you different missions, and then you sort of you have like a reputation level with each of those, and then that reputation level correlates to like you unlock different skills and different buffs and stuff per each of those corporations. So that's pretty interesting, and there's a shitload there. There's going to be a shitload of stuff there to do if you really want to dig into this, and I think that is very cool. I don't like the way it handles. So you get the sponsored kits, which are this game's
free
equivalent. So
loadouts,
in Arc Raiders you have your free loadouts, which is basically if you run out of stuff, or if you just want to have like a risk-free run, you equip a free loadout, and it's like, right, here's some random shit gear. The equivalent of that in this is you get these sponsored kits from the corporations, and you can equip that, and it will tell you what's in it. Like, right, you got this gun, this shields, this, these items or whatever. Routinely, I found that they just did not have enough ammo in them. And again, maybe that's a skill issue.
No. I think that's a regular thing anyway. Even when you're taking your own loadout with you, it feels like you have to take loads of ammo.
Yeah.
However, what you do find is the more teams you kill, you by the end of it you can have loads of ammo. So when we killed like 2 teams in one raid, it was like you're just taking tons of ammo off them. So that helps. Also, I think you can get ammo off some of the robots as well. So I think it's sort of it's using that to encourage you to kill enemies basically. But even then, I mean, even if you're going back to PvE stuff, like I don't think the enemies are particularly fun to fight.
No, they sort of like the way they sort of move around and use the terrain and stuff, I think is really convincing. But they're pretty much all just like humanoid enemies with guns, aren't they?
Well, and the bugs, but the bugs look terrible and they're annoying.
Yeah. And again, coming from Arc Raiders, which as we've talked about, has all these weird and wonderful different enemy types with loads of detail and ways you can deal with them. Whereas this is like, headshot the man's. Like that's pretty much.
But it is still like, as often it is with these Bungie games, it's like it is quite satisfying the way they kind of explode and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
It feels
the little skull that pops up when you kill them and stuff like that. Yeah, like I mean, I think the weapons are great, and I think some of the shooting feels great as well. I just don't like everything else around it. Like I really fucking hate it visually. I really hate controlling it. I think the menus are just wildly confusing. Like, and some of it's tedious, busy work. Like when you get notifications, you've got to do this and look at this in your codec and all this sort of stuff, and you've got to go into each thing individually. For whatever reason, when I'm playing Arc Raiders, whenever there's a cutscene, I will sit and watch that cutscene, even though it's not the best written and it's a little bit, but it gives a little bit of flavour, the cutscenes on this, I am like, what the fuck is going on? It's like a test screen. You know what I mean? It's like things just, I'm getting you. And it's just like flashing and that. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be getting out of it. I can't stand it, Sean. I'm just like, fuck it. So every time it comes up, I'm like, skip. I don't watch any of this shit. Like, this is dreadful.
I mean, I think one of the things that, when we were talking about this on WhatsApp before, that like one of the things you said, David, was like, this will find an audience. There's going to be people that are going to want to play this. But would I want to play this over Arc Raiders? And the answer is probably not. Like, I'd rather play Arc Raiders.
And the thing is that it's like they're not trying to be the same game.
Yeah.
Right. I get that.
But
they're not trying to do the same thing, and I get that. Yeah. But ultimately, what am I having more fun playing?
Yeah, that's just it. It's like,
why would I spend my time on this when I could be playing Arc Raiders? Is the question.
It just feels like a less fun alternative to Arc Raiders.
It feels like a less fun game. You know what I mean? Like, in the same reason why I don't play other games that I don't want to play. But however, again, it's important to note that we are forming these opinions based on a pre-release sort of demo.
It's out this week.
Totally, and I think that's a valid argument as well. Like, this is something that has been released specifically to try and get people into the game. I think it's massively failed. I mean, you look at the narrative out there and the what people are saying about this game and the general reaction to this game. It's really bad. Like, people are really slating it, and it's one of those things where people are posting up how many people are playing it on Steam at one time and all this sort of stuff.
Is this all from Rollmap, Dave? Because you can't. Yeah, that's
Hey
not
man, no need to call me that. I've got many different fingers in all
Yeah.
sorts of internet pies. You know what I mean? I got my finger on the pulse, boy. Don't have a go on me.
It's
Yeah,
like
it
I
was
was
mainly
saying-
roll muck. Yeah.
I was saying on the stream with James as well, what I hate about living in 2026 is like I'm playing this and like I say, not hugely enjoying it and thinking, I don't know, how many people are going to get into this, and straight away I'm like, they're going to fucking shut the studio down. Do you know what I mean? Like, hopefully that's bullshit and I'm wrong, but just with the way things are at the moment, are Sony just going to look at this and be like, we fucking paid $3 billion for this shit, and everyone's saying it's bad, and I hate that that awareness of like that could happen because
Yeah.
because I not that it's because I'm not enjoying it. You know what I mean? I hate it.
Yeah, the only thing that I hope is that they go, actually, maybe what we need to do with Bungie is let them do a game they want. And they may have wanted to do this. Look, look, we don't know, right? Not a fair idea, but we don't know, right? I just, look, I'm probably going to buy it because it feels to me that I have to really put the time in to be convinced that it's not very good. The last session I played with it, I come away thinking, no, there's something here. I like the constant shit. I've got to do stuff to myself. I've got to put the drone out. I've got to heal myself up. I've got to do this. The gadgets, I don't know how much you've fucked about with them, but there seems to be loads in that. And if you're talking about actually, if the gear is a huge part of what makes this game good, then you need to build that shit up and learn how to use all that stuff. And it is the same with upgraders. There are loads of items in that game that I just haven't used because you sort of get comfortable with what you use. But then all of a sudden you'll pick up a wasp driver and throw it at a bunch of enemies and it fucking stuns them all. And you're like, why have I not been doing this the whole time? This is amazing.
And I should say as well, like I played the Arc Raiders open beta and I was like, I hate it. Everyone just fucking shoots you on sight. I don't think Marathon is not designed to have a similar renaissance after 2 weeks where everyone's like, fuck, everyone's really nice. I don't think that's going to happen with this. But if you buy it and in the next 2-3 weeks you're like, no, we were wrong, it's fucking great, then I have to accept that that's legit because I went through the same.
Yeah, but
thing
it's
with
part
Arc
of it,
Raiders.
isn't it?
Like,
Yeah, that's part of it.
We also don't know how they're going to evolve things in terms of because if there's going to be seasons of this, how maybe there may be seasons where it's like more cooperative play is necessary to take
they
on.
could introduce different modes or whatever. One thing I don't like is they've done this thing where it's basically every season, pretty much everything resets, is my understanding. So it's basically, if you're an Arc Raiders player, it's basically if you were forced to do the expedition every season. So there's not a lot of stuff carries between seasons apparently, and they tried to do this with Destiny 2 and everyone fucking hated it. So I'm not really, a similar thing with Destiny 2 where the gear you earned in the cool gear you would earn from one season would for some reason be useless in the next or whatever, and I think they backpedaled on it. So
but
yeah,
again,
I don't know what they're thinking.
This is the thing of the live game, isn't it? It's that they need to react to how people are finding this. What's going to happen? Is movement going to get improved? Is it going to become a little bit more faster paced? What's going to happen in the future with this game? The problem is fighting against some really popular games at the moment, and it needs an audience to convince investors and Sony that they should continue developing this game. And so it needs an audience quick. And I don't think that this Server Slam has helped its case, to be honest with you.
But
crazy.
And it is heartbreaking when you just see that I'll play something and I'm like, okay, I've got issues with it. It's not for me, but I reckon people will like it. And then you say it's just like, oh no, the internet, capital I, internet has scented blood and just decided what this is.
There's also because people are rightly so angry at Sony as well with Blue Point and all that kind of thing where it feels like there is a bit of a kind of live services, all that kind of thing, and
you get this in football as well. You get what they call a boo boy, where you can see a player just play poorly, but you see a whole team play poorly, but that one player gets picked out because that's the one that everyone as a hive mind has chosen is the problem, and they all jump on it. It's fucking weird how that works. Look, there are, as you say, legitimate complaints about this game, but the vitriol I've seen over it on the internet is kind of weird. It's like people liked the whole Anthem thing. James certainly did, and they want another one of those. Expect plenty of marathon news stories in the coming weeks. But that's all I've played, and that is out this week.
Yeah,
I think I will be playing it over the weekend.
They do also like a public beta of that other one from Gorilla. Yeah, the Horizon game.
they did. I don't think it was a public beta. I think it was invite only. But I didn't. I saw the people on our Discord were talking about it, and I was like, "Oh,
Horizon
shit,
Dawn."
That? And Horizon Dawn, the Horizon Hunters Gathering or whatever it's called. You know,
Oh, yes, I have. I remember.
Right, but
really? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll be the judge of that. James, what else you got for us?
So I've also been playing. I mean, I've been playing Resident Evil Requiem mostly this week, and I mean, first off, I was
Is it spooky?
Yes, actually,
it's intensely spooky.
it really is, and I mean, I'd say straight off, I absolutely love this. It's been a fantastic time playing it. I mean, so the game, the core point of this compared with the other Resident Evil games, or at least the more recent ones, is the game takes place across like two protagonists. So you've got like Grace, which is like her stuff all plays in like first person, and it's more focused on the survival horror aspect. So it feels a lot more like Resident Evil like 7, and because it's much more intense, and those bits are the sort of the scary bits, and they really are. Like in places, the atmosphere is fantastic. But then you've also got the other is obviously Leon returning, from Resident Evil 4, and his stuff is all just action. It really is, and it's like they've taken the stuff from Resident Evil 4 and dialed it up massively, and it's ridiculous. Like how sort of stylish stuff looks, and how satisfying it is as well. Like just blowing stuff up, and it just gets ridiculous. And as I said, so it's like kind of like a mashup of these two games of like maybe Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 4. When I first saw that this was going to be the case, I was not convinced it was going to work, because it just feels like these two play styles are really disparate, and I didn't see how they were going to sort of function together. But it really works, mostly because it alternates between the two. And at first I was concerned because Leon's sections were quite short, like they were like quite short sort of action set pieces. But they set the context and the scene for Grace's sections, because they're sort of taking place often in sort of in parallel time. And as I said, I was worried that Leon's stuff was going to be a bit short, because Grace's sections, especially at the start of the game, are significantly longer. But this changes as the game goes on, and I've now got to a bit in the game with Leon where it's much more sort of the open world, and there's a lot more sort of exploration that's going on, and also like more combat and more like options that you have with like weaponry, with like sort of upgrading, like with Resident Evil 4, how that was like one of the big points was like like taking weapons, trying to improve them, that kind of thing. But it's the stuff that I've really enjoyed the most have been the parts with Grace, because the first part of the game, it takes you back really to sort of almost like maybe like Resident Evil, like the original Resident Evil or Resident Evil 2, where you're going around like with Resident Evil 2 it was obviously the police station, but in this case it is like a rest home that you're going through, and it has the usual sort of like Resident Evil style puzzles of like picking up the keys and trying to figure out like quite simple puzzles, but the reason it's so good is because the atmosphere is so oppressive feeling, mostly because there's these like the way some of the enemy designs are so interesting and horrible, and sort of the way that they like interact with the environment as well is something that I've not seen in a Resident Evil game before. Which is,
how do you mean?
Well, I don't want to spoil it. Is the problem? There's one enemy which is massive, and it's all of these are like corridors that you're going down, like so that it's like quite narrow. Like a lot of the game is in quite narrow enclosed spaces, and this enemy completely fills like an entire corridor, and then also like smashes through like is like trying to squeeze through like a door, like through a door frame, but then just like smashes through it as well. And it's just horrible. Like the way it's done is just absolutely horrible. And they've also brought back the whole thing whereby you can like down like a zombie, and then later on you come back and it comes back to life stronger than before. And for some reason, it has its head sort of like has all these growths that sort of like appear, and it looks like like Alien. They all look like they got like alien heads, like basically, which is just really really horrible. And with Grace, like when you're playing with her, like there's not much ammo around, that you have to like scavenge stuff. They've got this system whereby you can like craft new ammo, and I don't know how this works, but you pick up scrap and then you combine it with infected blood, and this creates ammunition for some reason, like handgun ammo. Fine, I don't care. Like it's still, and it's like that's also part of like the.
I mean, these games have always been a bit wacky, right? Like you've always had weird stuff like that,
like the herbs and stuff like that.
The
that
herbs,
you're, like, picking up, yeah. But then also it has the resource like management as well, by whereby you're having to like move things around, but it's so streamlined as well, which is the other thing which is really enjoyable about it. Like there's nothing has irritated me at all so far, like in terms of like with the puzzles.
Something like you, fucking hell.
I know, this is why
irritated by everything.
And it looks it looks absolutely beautiful. Sound design absolutely
really
outstanding.
Movement of the zombies and stuff look fucking great.
Yeah, and there's nothing, I can't fault anything with this so far. Like the pacing has been so good, and it's fantastic. Like this is the best game I've played this year, I think, so far, like easily. It's I mean it's doing very well, as I understand. Like it's had like the highest number of like concurrents, I think, on Steam of like any like Resident Evil game that's come out so far, of like people playing it. And I mean, it's a shame Matt's not here, because I know he's been playing it as well, and I want to trade stories with him about it, because it's it's really quite incredible. Like just what they
not that long, is it? It's quite a short game.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be about 12, 13 hours, and I mean I'm 10 hours in so far, but I don't feel like I'm near the end yet. I mean, this isn't really a spoiler because it's been in the trailers and stuff, but you return to Raccoon City in this one as well, which is like post, because like Raccoon City is like blown up, like they destroy it with like missiles and stuff. But you go back to sort of like the aftermath of that, and it's really cool, like to see how there's still like not a functioning city there, but there's still stuff going on, and it's very interesting. Yeah, I really love it. I think it's fantastic, and it's the first time this year that I felt really, really engaged to play, and like not wanted to like stop playing, because it's it's just great.
How many times do you reckon Matt Murray has to pause it while he's playing?
Well, there's I'll tell you one of the things they should have done. They absolutely should have a warning up there though about like arachnophobia or whatever. Like seriously,
good.
Because exactly, because there's one part in the game which is. It's ridiculous, like what happens here, and I'm just thinking, like if I'd recommended you to play this and I didn't know that was coming up, you'd absolutely hate me, like for that, because it's one of the worst I've ever seen, I think, in a game. And
I'm becoming a big boy. I'm a big boy now, so I could do that easy all day long. What about that?
Yeah, but yeah, I think a warning would have been nice on that, maybe. But no, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Cool. That is Resident Evil. Requiem 9. Is it 9?
Yeah, it's Resident Evil 9.
There you go.
I mean, I didn't put this on here, but I also did finish Paranormasight as well, with like all the endings.
Oh, nice.
Which
was good?
It was good, but I don't think it's as good as the first game, and not just because it's not scary, but also because I think the overall story is not as interesting, I think, as the others, and also the
very damning of James Farley there. Yeah.
But also like to get like the final ending, like the true ending, it's like I had to look it up in the end, because it's like what you have to do is insane, like to try and and I would have been there for days probably to try and figure out what you have to do. It's very strange, but it's okay. But I don't think it's as good as the first at all.
All right. That is James Farley talking about video games there. Sean Bell, do you want to talk about video games? No, we appreciate it, mate. We appreciate it.
A load of demos I want to talk a little bit about. because it's been Steam Next Fest this week, and I talked about a couple last week.
It's Steam Next Fest every fucking
It is
week.
basically non-stop.
I swear you say that every episode. Steam Next Fest this week. I don't even know what Steam Next Fest is. I'll be honest with you. I've never
It's
really.
just where loads of devs put demos up, and then they have like a
Okay.
featured page for them. They used to
Sound arrogant.
like Valve used to like curate it and be like, right, these are the games we know are good. Let's put them front and center. And now they're just like, it's fucking it's like 500-600 demos. Go at it. Vampire Crawlers. So this is the Vampire Survivors spin-off, but it's a dungeon crawler this time. Really good. Because Vampire Survivors is such a weird thing. I was like, yeah, was it a fluke though? Like, because they've added stuff to Vampire Survivors, but Ponkel, the developer, hasn't. Like, this is their first actual new game, I think, since Vampire Survivors. And slightly different genre. Obviously, it's trading off all the visuals and the characters and the music and stuff that you know from Vampire Survivors. But yeah, it's really good. Like, I generally, I don't tend to get on with sort of dungeon crawler games because I just find them a bit slow. But this is like lightning fast. You're just racing around these dungeons. I mean, they're not really done. They're outdoors, but you're on like a grid and you sort of look at you're in first person and you're moving sort of forwards, backwards, turning left and right, whatever. And there's enemies dotted around on the map, and each one of those represents an encounter. So you sprinting up to one, and then like you get, so you have it's like deck based, right? You have a deck of cards, and they've got all your moves on them. What is cool is it's got this system where if you can, so if you play a series of cards that have like ascending, like every card has like a mana cost, right? So it's, costs you 1 magic to cast it or whatever. So if you can keep using cards that have an ascending cost, so you do one that's free and then one that costs 1, then one that costs 2, you start getting a damage multiplier, and it's really, really fun trying to manage that, sort of balancing your deck out so you got an even numbers of cards of different values, and then there are ways of like extending that combo without playing a card that's in the right sequence. It's really fucking good. Just racing around, just bashing the shit out of bats and skeletons and shit. I did get a bug in the demo where I finished a fight and it just didn't acknowledge that I had, and it just kept giving me 3 turns over and over again, and I couldn't get out of it. So fix that bug, developers.
If you're listening,
yeah. If you got the
probably
stones to do it. Denshattack. This was one that there was a trailer for a little while ago, and I remember thinking it looked incredible, but not really understanding what it was. So Densha, meaning which is Japanese,
as it.
as in train, right?
Okay, I thought you meant like someone's dentures.
Oh, Denshattack. No, Denshattack.
Okay.
This is really good. It's so you're a train, and you're on a track, and you're sort of flying down this track, and partly it's just about getting to the end of the track, right? But then also there are complications later on that I won't spoil. But basically, the way it sort of introduced you into the tutorial is like, right, you're a train on a track. You can jump and you can do tricks in the air. You can also sort of, if there's rails to the left or right, you can sort of, hop over between them. If there's corners, you have to do you have to drift around corners. And that gives you a speed boost, and it basically just becomes this like really fucking cool like score attack game. There's it's very fun to try and react to everything on the fly. There will be times where you will crash and you'll have to sort of repeat certain bits. It's really forgiving about like checkpoints and stuff, but obviously then when you're going for high scores, you want to do like a one sort of flawless run. Just really, really interesting way of doing like a cool sort of trick based like score attack game. And then, as I say, you do a couple of levels of like tutorials and stuff, and then it throws you into the first actual level, and it's just like this. I recognize all the pieces of this that I've been shown in the tutorial, but it's already using it in ways that are just really cool and interesting. So yeah, well worth.
It's very Jet Set Radio inspired visually, isn't it?
Radio, yeah, the visuals certainly. A quick go on Map, a game about mapping.
Stop! If you remember, you're making these up now.
Do you remember in Sea of Thieves where sometimes you would do those quests where you just have a little map and then show like a bit of an island and then there'd just be an X on it, and you'd have to be like, right, well, if that shows a tree, that red tree there, and then another thing there, and so and then you're sort of trying to position it in the real world. They're not actually that fun in Sea of Thieves. This is a whole game of that, but it's way more compelling. You're given slightly, more to go on, and you start getting given like actual mapping tools. And yeah, I really enjoyed what I played of this.
Looks like Chia, Sean.
It
It's
does
making
look a
me
bit
feel
like Chia.
uncomfortable.
You just but yeah, you just put on these islands, and it's like, right, find this, or it'll say like, I'll find this tree or this rock or whatever. And I think I say, so you start getting given tools like, you'll find certain landmarks that give you your compass directions, and then it'll be like, right, here's a thing that helps you count your steps. So you're like, right, so I know if I stand here and I go 5 steps east from here, that means I am here, and then that means it's really good. Really, really good.
This is fucking brilliant. Like, this is right up my street, this sort of game.
It's such a simple idea, but as says, even just in the demo, sort of going through the levels, and then every sort of 2 levels, it's like, right, it's got slightly harder, but here's another tool to help you deal with it. It's just, really interesting.
So you're continuously trying to explore an island and map its landmarks.
And I think each level is like there's a whole series of these little islands basically, and then in each one you might be asked to find sort of 2 or 3 things before you move on to the next one. But yeah, really enjoyed that. And the last one I'm going to talk about is John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. I don't know if you remember this one. It's real. Shut up. It's a cool, but it'd be a great band name. But it's not. It's a video game. Right, I'm going to say something, and it's gonna overhype it, but I promise I mean it.
This is the greatest game of all time
I've ever played. No, but it's the closest something has felt to Left 4 Dead since Left 4 Dead.
Oh right. Oh okay.
Yeah. So
you've got my attention, Mr. Bell.
Co-op first-person shooter. You got a team of 4 people going through environments. There's lots of zombies around. Sounding familiar. What's cool about this is, so you have a truck that you take around everywhere, and so you're sort of going between places. You're getting in the truck together. You're driving around, running down zombies with the truck, or ideally shooting some of them. And it's like, I was talking to a friend of the show, Chris Spann, about it, because we played it together, and he's saying it's a little bit Far Cry in that you're given an objective, and then kind of it's not an open world game, but there is a map that you can explore, and so you're getting in the truck. You're like, well, we know the objective's there, but if we swing by this other place, we can kill some baddies, get some items, get some better weapons, etc., etc. It looks amazing. It looks really good, and just like the designs of the enemies, like I lost count of the amount of times I just shouted, like, what the fuck is that? Because a new monster would appear. And it was like, what the fuck? Like, oh my God, it's like just constant, like, just new stuff to take into account as you're running around. And again, big hordes of zombies coming at you the entire time. Like, it's so it's by Saber, who did Space Marine 2, and you can tell it runs on the same tech, because there are sections where there are zombies are just pouring in, like, all just running off cliff sides and stuff, and all just like, yeah, it's fucking nuts. And when you're driving around in the car, they're like, they're sort of smashing on the bonnet and then crawling their way towards you, trying to get in the fucking windows. So like, one person's driving and I'm just shooting sort of past their face to try and shoot the zombie that's trying to get in the window. Stuff like that. I had an absolutely fantastic time playing this. I was really pleasantly surprised. Obviously, like, I'm not horror. I know he doesn't just do horror movies. I'm not a horror movie guy, so I'm not hugely familiar with John Carpenter stuff. I don't know how involved he was. I believe he did the soundtrack. The soundtrack's really good. Yeah, one to watch. I think it's out this week or next week. That's soon. Anyway.
Okay, cool. On what?
Everything. I mean, we played it on PC, obviously, but I'm pretty sure it's on Xbox and PS5 as well.
So. Yeah, it is. I think this. Yeah. I mean, this looks great.
It's really good. It'd be a hell of a stream. The 4 of us. Just saying.
Sean, has it got my purchase?
Has it got? It's not like Back 4 Blood though. It hasn't got all like that stuff. No. Like cards.
You get these items that let you open like weapon cases and stuff that you find lying around. The weapons are fucking silly. Like, they're absolutely hilarious. Like, when you first get the grenade launch, you just firing it into these like hordes of zombies, and they're flying everywhere. Sorry, Ben's pointed out in the chat. So they did the World War Z game, and that's where their sort of swarm tech came from. Yeah, really good. The dialogue's shit. Obviously, there's like, they're just, I can't even remember any of the quips, but there are quips. between the characters while you're fighting and stuff. But yeah, really enjoyed that.
I also have one final thing to add.
Oh yeah.
I played the latest Walkabout mini golf level. Yeah,
Oh.
you're all bored of me saying it. That game is absolutely incredible and essential if you've got a VR headset.
What is the new one? I don't think I've seen it.
It's called Tiki Akoko.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's all just coconuts. I think it's like really branded. The idea is that you, like, when you launch into the lobby, there's an aeroplane, and then when you start this course, the aeroplane has crashed on an island, and it's
Right.
full of coconuts, doing all manner of things, getting massages and tattoos and hula dancing. Some of these coconuts are rather sexy. It's a brilliant course. Like, it is a genuinely brilliant course, and as much as I love the sort of license stuff they do, and it is done so well. There is part of me that goes, oh, they don't really need to do that. They just really need a good theme, and they can absolutely fucking nail it. There are bongos you can play with your golf club. Enjoyed that, Sean, and we had a really good time on it. That game, it's good, isn't it?
Best.
Bored of saying it, to be quite honest with you. It's fucking brilliant. Okay, shall we get to questions?
Yes.
Good, because that's what we've been playing.
Go to tcgs.co. Sick Happy says, hi all. Just needed to ask, why does Sean bother with that little Android handheld when he has a Steam Deck? The Steam Deck is surely a much better way to emulate games. I found it to be the best and easiest way to emulate old stuff by a mile. Also, you mentioned wanting to get a Raspberry Pi arcade machine set up. I have an arcade cabinet with a Raspberry Pi in it. While it was great for older stuff, I eventually ended up swapping it out for an HDMI/USB splitter. Now I just dock my Steam Deck to my arcade cabinet. This way, I'm able to play anything the Raspberry Pi could play, plus anything modern like Street Fighter 6 on the arcade cabinet, and it all works perfectly. Plus, Steam has loads of great arcade stuff available to buy, like shmups, rhythm games, and beat-em-ups like Streets of Rage 4. The Steam Deck just recognizes the cabinet's arcade sticks, and it's amazing. David and James should have also purchased Steam Decks because I use mine like the PlayStation Portal and stream from my PS5. Apparently, it also performs better than the PlayStation Portal when doing this too. Plus, it plays most of your Steam library: Ark Raiders, Helldivers 2, God of War Ragnarok, Elden Ring, the list goes on. There's also no monthly cost for online play, free games on Epic, you can dock it to your TV and connect just about any controller you want. Also, lossless scaling, when configured correctly, can double your FPS. I've played through Expedition 33 at 60 FPS using it. My PS5 and PC barely get a look in for gaming these days, to be honest. So basically, you should have all just bought Steam Decks, is what I'm saying, including Matt, because he's Matt and that's what he does. Also, you really don't need a PS5 Pro, Matt. No one does. And I know David's going to say, but I just want the convenience of a console. But come on, it's not hard. Aren't you a bloody architect or something? There's a load of tutorials online to do all sorts of stuff with it, and it's all pretty easy stuff, which has only been done once. Sorry, only has to be done once, and you're set. I did it, and I'm well thick. Love the show. Bye.
Sick Happy has got it all worked out.
I mean, like I've said before, like if I had to choose one gaming thing, like if I had to lose everything and I could only keep one, it would be the Steam Deck, hands down.
Really?
Yeah, it's by far the most versatile piece of kit.
But
I don't want versatility. I just want to chill, man.
Isn't it also, though, getting a bit long in the tooth in terms of like new releases and stuff?
You can fucking talk. Look who's talking. Long in the tooth. I'm so sorry. That was mean, that one. That was mean. It just come to me. I'm so sorry, James.
It's all right.
The thing is, Sean has told me that this is, he loves the Steam Deck, and he constantly says you should buy a Steam Deck, but he also goes, you are going to get a little bit fucking pissed off with some of the tweaking. Yeah. He knows what I'm like. Sean knows me very well.
Lots of scaling, once configured correctly. It's like, yeah, that's an evening, isn't it? So to be clear, yeah, I know the Steam Deck can do emulation stuff. I don't know. I like having the things separate. I like having an emulation device that just does my emulation stuff and is completely separate. And I know what I'm playing on it at any one time. Whereas I know on the Steam Deck, any emulation stuff I put on it will just be among all my Steam stuff as well. And I don't know. Like, yeah, it's an incredible.
There is
device, and it's
something
made
about
it for
having
us,
a
but-
dedicated thing
Yeah.
to do that job, right? And that is why I love the Portal so much. It is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dedicated thing that I can do to stream either my PS5 or my PS5 games. Like, and that's all it does, and that's all I get it out for, and I
it's
love all that.
It's also very comfortable to hold, and it's a lot cheaper as well than
Yeah,
than
I mean that's
Steam
the other
Deck.
thing. Yeah, that, like I think that I like the shape of the Steam Deck to hold it, but it's fucking heavy at times. Like can be like if you're doing an actual long session on it, you will find yourself sort of repositioning quite a bit. So yeah.
As I say, Sean has been bugging and bugging and bugging us about getting a Steam Deck, but he's also aware that we are grumpy old men who are like
Just want to fight.
resolution. I don't want to do the resolution, although by the sounds of it, you just docking it into an arcade machine sounds so fucking clean. That
That does sound great. And as I said, so when I first got the CRT telly, I was just looking around like, what's the easiest thing I can plug into it? Because I still had to set up the Raspberry Pi shit. So yeah, so I just plugged the Steam Deck into it and just loaded up Arcray just because I don't know, it's funny. It's so weird though. So because I put like UFO 50 on it, which obviously is a pixel art game and it's supposed to look like it's an old console. It's so weird how putting it on a CRT, like how quickly your brain is like, yes, this is an old game.
Oh, really?
Because you're seeing it on an old telly and it's just pixel art, and straight away you're just like, yeah, this is from like 1989, obviously.
Well, as I said, talk about when I went to the Heart of Gaming last week, and I saw Sonic the Hedgehog on a Mega Drive on a CRTV thing, and when I paused it, I saw the lines and how, and I was just like, this is glorious to me. This is beautiful. Yeah, it's cool.
Sorry, James, were you gonna?
No.
Cool.
Of course we weren't.
Zoe the Snail Wrangler says, "Dear TCGS,
I'm sorry. I don't, James. I'm sorry.
No,
All
you're
right.
not. No, you're not.
No, I am. I am actually. No, I am. Look at me.
He's upset and he's lashing out.
Look at me in the eyes. I'm sorry. All right.
All right.
Do you know I do that with the boys? When they have a row, I make them stand in front of each other, look at each other in the eyes, and say one thing they love about each other, and it is fucking hilarious every time because they go from raging at each other to. They fall about laughing. They fall about laughing because they cannot handle it. It's so funny, and I'll go, "No, come on, look him in the eyes," and it diffuses the situation. Yeah, no, I'm probably doing all sorts of damage. Sorry. Should we?
No, as you said it, I was like, that's either like a proven like therapy thing or just torture. Like,
No, that's what I'm using it for. It's not. I've got no credentials. I have got no credentials.
Zoe the Snail Wrangler says, "Dear TCGS, a situation has occurred in which each of your favourite football teams, Matt Palace, David Millwall, Farley Chelsea, and Sean Tranmere Rovers." That's deep lore at this point.
That was like episode 2 we come up with that. Yeah.
Have to change their mascots to a video game character, and you get to decide who are you picking and why.
That is a fucking good question. Who would you? Who? Oh shit! Who would you reckon would make a good? You know what a football mascot is, right?
I mean, it's just a person in a costume who.
Who walks around and waves around the side of the pitch, and while everyone shouts pedo at them from the away end, like that's essentially what happens at a football match. It's wild. Some of the best ones have been the boiler. I can't remember what team that was for. Do you remember there was an actual boiler where they went, well, we're sponsoring you, so we want you to have a boiler as a mascot,
like a flame or something. Like it's
no, it was a boiler. You've got to see, it's just like a big white box. It's so funny. And then that weird thing that Luton Town have got, that little man with a big top hat. It's just really odd. Scares the shit out of me. What's Chelsea's one?
Stamford the Lion.
We got Zampa the lion. There's lots of lions involved. I think Crystal Palace is just a flag, isn't it? A flag and a balloon. Oh, it's Flaggy and Balloono.
Get behind the team.
Yeah. Oh, and that's face paint. What would you change yours to, James?
Tom Nook.
Can't be bothered to think of anything.
No, it
Just
works. It works.
Tom
Think
Nook.
about it. No, it works. Think about it. It's like all the money and all the just, like
the costume already exists, so you
yeah,
just phone up Nintendo.
exactly. Yeah,
we need
it's
one.
yeah.
Need Nook.
Mine's easy. It'd be Duke Nukem
Yeah.
because Millwall are woke. Yeah, and we don't like woke.
Duke
And do
Nukem
you know who else
represents
isn't
the
woke?
values of Millwall football.
Duke Nukem. Yeah. He likes beer and birds, just like the Millwall boys. the perfect combination.
Sean, how about you
Sean just put his head in his hands. Listen, as if he just put his head in his hands.
It genuinely can't be easy, sort of riding the line between like being a Millwall supporter and not an awful person.
That's dreadful.
No,
You instantly get judged when you say you're a Millwall fan. It is wild. It is wild, and you wouldn't go, "No, I'm quite left wing."
What about the Super White Army? Sean?
Yeah, what about the Super
Unfortunately,
White
that is what
Army?
Tranmere is that still a thing?
I don't think they call themselves that anymore.
Doesn't sound great, does it?
Yeah.
About the guy from God Hand, because he's got good kicks, which I believe is a major component of football.
When you say that, do you mean his trainers? Are you being cool?
No, I mean he's good at kicking.
Oh right, okay. I thought you just meant, hey man, he's got some fly kicks. That guy.
We call them kicks. If you're one of our many listeners in the 18 to 23 demographic, let us know if you still call trainers kicks.
what would you say is like the lamest video game character of all time? Like real sort of fuck, that is shit. Cuff from Fuzzboat. Oh, okay. So Cuff will be Palace's. Palace's
what about one of the?
mascot.
What was that? Was it Matt Hazard? There was like the parody games. Do you remember them?
Matt Hazard.
And I think they were just shite.
Well, there's also that Jaguar game. Was it like Trevor McFur? Whether was it?
What forums you been on, James? Get your VPN.
Matt Hazard. Oh, Matt. I'm looking at Matt Hazard now. He's got a knife in his hand. Knife in his mouth. Sorry. No, it's like biting onto a knife like that and looking scary.
I just remember being like, I know it's supposed to be a parody, but
Matt Hazard looks like Matt Murray before he grew a beard. It really does. I'll send you a photo. That is wild. All right.
Moving on. Keaton says, how exactly do you want us to spread the word of the pod? I usually just say it's 4 English guys that insult each other and talk about video games. I then clarify that it's very funny.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? How the fuck do you sum this up? I don't know how you do that. Hey, do you like games? Well, they don't really talk about them that much.
You like potholes?
They got a whole segment on that on episode 491. It's a soap opera. That's how I would describe us. Yeah. It's like a really shit soap opera.
It's like El
that has
Dorado.
gone on for too long. It's like El Dorados. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we've run longer than El Dorado did.
Yeah.
That's a goal, isn't it? That's an achievement.
Any favourite quotes?
Alan Yentob's fault that was.
Any favourite El Dorado quotes, James, that you'd like to share with the?
I don't know. I need to listen to this week's episode of Ian's show to think of a good one.
Okay. All right then.
Saying things like, can't believe I'm in El Dorado.
Yeah. No, there's loads. Like James records quotes from El Dorado and sends them to Ian Lee on a regular basis.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah,
that's a real thing.
It's
What's that about?
It's pretty much because every week there is something like banging that they say, which is brilliant.
Okay. Is it every week? They haven't been making the show for years, have they?
No, because
Ian watches back an episode a week on his show. And then James sends him relentless quotes where he's trying to reenact.
Yeah, well, I reenact
going on
scenes from
James isn't even watching it. He's listening,
I'm listening to it,
someone watch it.
Yeah.
That's how they should have kept El Dorado going. It should have been a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then when you hear some of the plot lines, you go, I can see why it was cancelled.
Alan Yentop is a cruel
Last
man.
one. So we actually received this last week, but it was too late to read out, which is incredibly tragic when you hear it. So this comes from Lord Barnabas Rimshot, who says,
Oh.
I've just shit myself on the bus. Any advice? And then he added, I can't get up to listen to you live. I'll just keep circling Leeds Ring Road till Wednesday morning. Thanks in advance. So he's been there a week.
Okay.
Oh dear,
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, it's probably pretty well. He's probably got some sort of illness by now,
Yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah,
I'm really sorry
covered
about
in
that.
his own-
That's a shame.
Weren't your fault.
Well, it is. We didn't read it out last week.
Oh right. Oh, I thought you meant about the shitting himself. I've never shit myself on a bus. Has anyone here? Where's the worst place that you've shit yourself?
I
James
had
Farley.
this conversation with some friends recently. I've never shit myself as an adult.
No, me neither. I don't know.
You're not even a little bit of follow
everyone was
through.
like, "What? Never?" I was like, "No."
But not little bit felt fall out when you did a fart. When you thought it was a
No.
fart.
Nope.
You didn't eat Dr Pepper, Diet Pepsi, Coca Cola. You
only
didn't drink
time
all
that's
that, and you,
happened is when
you
I've
get
been
stomach
really
ache. Stomach ache.
Yeah.
What's that?
Is this a reference, or are you just losing your mind?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
reference. You get stomach ache. And I thought it was a fart, and then and I pooped my pants. Sorry.
The sugar-free sweets from Aldi. They're the
Okay.
closest I've ever been. They're
Really?
lethal. Yeah, never had them.
Mine are onions. I will sit there and go, do you know what? I fucking love onions, but if I have onions, I'm fucked. And sometimes I have to weigh it up and go, it's worth it.
It's always worth. It's always worth it. It's always like if something tastes good, it's always worth it.
Apparently, that is a thing. People with like really bad allergies will just be like,
Sounds like a sex
I really
rule.
like.
James Farley. If something tastes good, it's always worth it. Lord.
Yeah, apparently
Yeah.
there's a phenomenon of people who are just like, yeah, I'm really allergic to seafood, but I really like seafood. So once a year, I'll just go out for seafood, take my EpiPen with me, and just have a go.
Just chow down.
Yeah.
We know that James is allergic to milk and he loves milk, right?
I do. I fucking love milk. It's
He
great.
did the milk
Allergic,
race.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because
Don't you remember?
this comes up, I do that. Technically, we're all allergic to milk.
Oh, right, okay, right, okay. That sounds like we are done with this episode of the Computer Game Show. Let's get to socials. James Farley.
Oh shit! I forgot. Oh fuck! I normally prepare this when I
I'm
think
just
it's gonna be-
saying, there's a big
Sorry?
announcement you got to make, James.
Sorry, James.
No, okay. Usually, if I've got
You
preparation,
normally prepare this.
No.
You've never prepared.
no,
it.
that's not true. Listen back. A couple of times I've nailed it, and that's when I've had it written down. And this time I didn't write it down because I
Go
forgot
on.
that I was going to be called on for this. Oh fuck! I've genuinely forgotten what you're supposed to say. Okay. So, on Thursday at 9 p.m, Played by the Bell is returning. Is that correct?
Way, yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
know.
I bet that's how you always dreamed of that being revealed to our
It is, yeah, I
audience.
think that's really, you really sold it.
Apparently, Played by the Bells is returning. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been enjoying streaming Art Raiders, but I've got the itch to just stream random shit each week. So that's what it's going to be. It might not necessarily be indie stuff like it was last time. I'm just going to see where the wind takes us. A bit like John Peel. Do you know what I mean? A bit of what you like and a bit of what I think you might.
Yeah,
like.
you're John Peel. Yeah,
I'm
sure.
John Peel,
Yeah, okay.
but without the unfortunate.
Other bits. Yeah.
See you on Thursday at 9 p.m, guys.
Yeah. And then there
Yeah.
might be Reanimal, but I don't know what's happening with that. So we'll be back at some point to stream that when it's available. If you've got Twitch Prime, if you've got, I don't want to do this. This is ridiculous. it's just no one does this anyway.
You've heard it enough times, surely. Can you not just?
What do you mean no one does this anyway? Matt
No.
does it all the time.
No, I
perfectly.
mean, no, I mean
People
the
very
whole.
kindly give us Twitch subs.
Yeah. Okay. So if you've got Amazon Prime, then you've got Twitch. Is it Twitch Gaming now? It's not
Twitch
called Twitch.
Prime, is it Twitch? I think it's Twitch Prime Gaming, or it might just,
Okay,
it
or
might
what-
just be Twitch Gaming. Who knows? They change their minds. every
Whatever
couple
they're
of weeks.
calling it this week. If you've got that, then you can link your subscription, and if you could subscribe to us, that'd be really nice. Because we do appreciate that. We've got a Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/tcgs, not TCGS Co, right? Is it just
Correct.
TCGS? Right, yeah. And there's also a website for everything else,
Certainly is.
which is at tcgs.co, I think. And then we've got a store you can buy t-shirts and shit.
It's not shit.
No, I didn't say it was shit. I said you could buy t-shirts and shit. You know, all those sorts of things. That's it, right? There's nothing. Oh, if you want to follow us, we're on Blue Sky and things like that. That's it. I can't think of anything else that I'm supposed to say at this point. Is that it? Is that it?
Thank you so much for living it. We will catch you next week for some more video game chit chats. We hope you have a lovely start to the month of March. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.